Uh,
So, what are you working on? What do you
uh, my colleague asked me about what asked me a question about the web app. So basically, so he create a class and call and function inside the class, and it works on Windows, but not work, but it is not working on Mac. I don't know why. I just checked the debugger and find that file, the FileMaker object could not be found.
Yep.
So I finally and I just told him to wrap the whole installation of the class with with a function Windows dot something load data, and then inside that function I'm trying to create an instance of the class and call the function of that class.
Hmm.
Have you tried to create a class and call a function inside the class before?
Hey Don, how's it going?
Doing well. How are you guys?
Good. Sam,
Hi, Tom.
I've never used classes in the work that I do. I don't know what the need is for it in the work that we do. Do you know why this person's using classes? What the yeah, I have no idea because I've never used a class before. I'm surprised that the window dot can't get into there. But
Yeah, I don't know either. I haven't used class before.
yeah,
Before he asked me. Typically, I just use just what you thought window dot something, and yeah, I just use function base.
uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
I mean, I saw your question come through and I want to see if I can. What? Wait, hold on.
I've tried to test on Windows and Mac, but yeah, same result. I don't know why for that for his code it works on Windows but not work on Mac. I try to create an example to test, but I cannot create the same issue. Yeah.
Okay.
I can only use Windows doc, for example, load data to wrap the function, and it works for both for Mac and Windows.
Hmm.
And that's all. And that's my conclusion on that moment. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. I'll have to explore it. I haven't had a chance, but we'll take a look at that. I can take a look at that before, hopefully before Friday.
Thank you.
Yeah, Don, what are you up to, man?
Too many things and not enough JavaScript. How's that? 0 JavaScript. Got some rather elaborate projects going on, dealing with a bunch of the global stuff that we do. So I think I've mentioned before, but dealing with conversion rates and currency conversion rates globally, because we bill in about 12 different currencies worldwide. So some of the things are quoted in one currency, and then we have to bill in a different currency depending on where the work is done. And so I've got to be able to convert all that stuff on a given date. So pulling in conversion rates from the European Central Bank
Oh, wow.
and converting into now, like, I think 12 different currencies. So it looks for a date when a client accepts a quote, looks for the conversion dates for that date, or the conversion rates for that date, and then puts, I've got 12 columns now where it converts it into the 12 different currencies. That way when finance gets it and billing gets it, they can say, okay, this particular one needs to be billed in Singapore dollars. You know, grab the Singapore dollar amount and send that off to the invoicing.
And you're doing all that in FileMaker, huh?
Yep.
Is it working
So
fine?
pulling in, yeah, it's working great right now. Except for when I've run into ones like somebody had stuff in Irish pounds. Irish pounds haven't been traded since 2002.
Hmm.
Just ran into Arab Emirate dirhams. Had some quotes come through in that. It's like, okay, I don't have a conversion rate for that one. And it's not one that's getting posted by the European Central Bank.
Mm.
So we're going to find that one. So I've got a couple weird ones that I have to go outside of the box to go find them in some other source to do the conversion rates from.
Cool. So you're
But,
bringing in information from somewhere else into FileMaker and converting it there. I see.
yeah, so all of the quote stuff is, and even actually the rates are coming out of ServiceNow. ServiceNow pulls in a daily conversion rates into a table, and they told me they weren't. And so I was actually starting to build a deal to grab it from European Central Bank until I had somebody else on a phone call and going, oh, but we have a table for that. And they looked at it and said, oh, well, it's not been active for a while, but we can redo that one.
Mhm.
I'm like, how are you doing the conversion rates? And on these things inside ServiceNow. I mean, you have to be doing them in there.
Yeah.
And they went through this elaborate deal about, oh, well, we reach out and grab the conversion rates on them basically on the fly. And it's like, and how many of those are you doing daily then? Instead of just grabbing the conversion rates once and having it done inside ServiceNow, which is part of how it's built. Why build another piece in there to have to go grab the conversion rates every single time that you need to go grab them? Why not just grab them once and have them in there? So now they're back to doing it that way again, where they grab them once a day at 1 o'clock every day, which is 1 o'clock Eastern time, which is basically they do it at 1:10. At 1 o'clock Eastern time is when the rates get posted by the central bank for the previous day's rate gets posted at 1 o'clock every day. So.
Sounds fun.
Oh yeah, especially keep uncovering different things and then building another one around resources, people that are on site resources globally for a bunch of our clients. Have all these jobs that we do that we actually, it's on-site managed services where we actually hire people in to work at clients' locations globally. So they work for us, but basically are managed in that by somebody on site at the client site. So like Price Waterhouse, we've got, I don't know, 80 people or whatever worldwide that are on IT staff basically for audio visual conferencing, troubleshooting and such. But we have situations where somebody else is billing to a job. It's like, okay, why are these people billing to a job? They're not on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, they're backfilling because so-and-so's out on PTO for the week, or they're, or they just happen to fat finger their timesheet and put time in for the wrong job. So capturing all that before it gets to payroll,
Mhm.
taking the timesheet information and capturing a bunch of that stuff. So
Well, that's a fun thing to
that's
do.
my,
It's an integration.
yeah,
It's
my,
not JavaScript, but
yeah. So, but looking forward to the class so that I can do that. Mention it to my boss that I signed up for your class the other day. So he's like, "Whoa, okay, looking forward to what you learn."
yeah, that's great. I'm yeah, cool. Hey Orlando, how's it going? You might be working or something. There you are.
Hi, everyone. Yeah, I'm busy. I have, yeah, hi, Jeremy. Hi, Sam and Don. Yeah, no, I'm all over the place this week. I've just taken on a pretty much full-time contract, so getting back into the 9 to 5 swing of things, which I haven't done for a few years. And dealing with the wonderful world of FileMaker 11.
Mm,
That is some fun. So yeah, helping them decipher their old system and also fix some issues because it powers parts of their website. So yeah,
are you gonna try to bring it up to FileMaker 19?
we're going to put some proposals and see what's the best option for them going forward, because it's quite a large organization. So got some ideas, but at the moment it's just decipher what it does, fix what's broken, and then go from there. But it says a lot that it's been running for about 5 years with very little support, and it just runs. So yeah, no, it shows the how robust FileMaker can be. But version 11 still runs perfectly, except obviously the data's not being updated or people aren't maintaining it. But yeah, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it just meant there's very little time for anything else at the moment. They're just cramming everything in around that. So, but yeah, all good.
You don't work by yourself. You work for a company, right? Or
I work for myself. So I run my own consultancy.
okay.
And then get the occasional subcontractor in. But yeah, this is my first kind of full-time contract I've taken on for a while. It seemed like an interesting thing to do.
Nice. That's I wouldn't work in FileMaker 11. I can't remember, it's been years since I've touched that. It would be awful to have to go backwards.
Yeah, no, it's difficult. I'm trying to get a copy that I can just upgrade just so I can analyze it. But oh, and to add to it, I've got to work in Windows as well. So it's just like,
Yeah.
might as well just work with my hands tied behind my back.
That is pretty awful.
Yeah, let us know if you need any help with that. I built quite a few things in 11. So,
do you still use 11?
no, I mean, everything that I had built in 11 pretty much has been, moved up along, and is in anywhere from 16 to 19 at this point. I'm actually playing with what they're calling the Problem Solver Circle suite. It's the Claris Pro, Claris Studio, Claris Connect Studio, or a suite of products. The piece that I'm upset at, that I tried to ask them the questions before we bought into it, was if when our contract of doing this, because we bought into a special deal that they had going on for it, and ended up with a site license for the next 3 years. But it's like, okay, if at the end of the 3 years we determine we don't want the other parts and all we want to do is continue on with FileMaker, is there any issues whatsoever with doing that? And they're like, no, you should be able to do that, no problem. Well, if you want to use Claris Studio with FileMaker, you have to upgrade to Claris Pro, which is, you know, the new version of FileMaker for that suite. But it changes the file format on your files. It now becomes a .claris instead of a .fmp12, and there's no tools to move it backward to an FMP12 if you decide to just stay with FileMaker.
Right.
But can you not, will they not allow you to keep using Claris Pro without Studio? If you don't?
They won't answer those questions.
No, you can't. It's Claris Pro.
Because Claris Pro
Yeah,
is just
you need the
FileMaker
ID.
Pro rebadged. So what's that, Sam?
Yeah, you need the class ID to use the Class Pro.
To use
right?
Studio and
FFA.
stuff. And so what I've been picking their brains, because they set you up with a support person moving into this, a customer success manager, so to be. And he hasn't been able to even answer some of the technical questions regarding, you know, how this all functions and whatever too. But he's like, well, just continue to build in FileMaker and then, you know, move it over to production in the Claris side and have it just converted. I'm like, there's a lot of minor things in that I, you know, fix on the fly or do on the fly. So I'm going to have to, you know, build that stuff in 2 platforms if I want to keep, you know, a version of everything in FileMaker, but yet be running it in the Claris side. And
You could build everything and upgrade everything in the FileMaker side, and then migrate it to Pro when you're doing migrate it to Claris Pro.
Right, and that's what I was just saying is that was the suggestion. Just build it in FileMaker and then, you know, just move the updates over to the Claris Pro side every time you do this. I said, well, there's a lot of this stuff that there's minor tweaks that people ask for.
Yeah.
That I can just do on the fly in FileMaker, and as opposed to having to do it in a dev environment and then move it over and move all the data over. I mean, I've got one of them. There's 16 different tables that range anywhere from a few thousand records to 4.6 million records. You know, in those tables. Every time I make some minor little change, I don't want to have to, you know, re-import, you know, 16 different tables of data into something too, and move it to production.
Yeah. Well,
and especially since some of these are used globally, so it's like, okay, to do that, it takes hours to move, you know, 4.6 million records. I don't want to have to take the stuff down at some point because I may have somebody in Singapore or in India or, you know, Great Britain, whatever, you know, utilizing it while, you know, in the middle of the night when I would want to do it normally for, you know, if it was just people here. So it's just kind of irritating that, you know, that I asked all these questions before we bought into it, and they're like, oh yeah, you'd still be able to use FileMaker, you know, if you decided to do this. And then get into this technical stuff with the success manager, and it's like, oh no, it converts your files. And it's like, great. So, but who knows? I mean, in 3 years, I may try to retire. Not a chance, but
sounds good.
Yeah, it would be nice, but it's not going to happen.
Maybe the assumption is that you won't want to go back.
Well, that's, I mean, their whole thing is buy into this and let's get you using all these other tools. And, you know, that way, you know, when your contract is up, and luckily I got management to buy into it for 3 years as opposed to just, you know, annually. Because it actually saved us quite a bit of money, and we've got a site license now with 3,300 users in the site license, which I'll never, you know, reach that amount, but now I don't have to worry about running out of licensing, which we were running a bunch of concurrent licenses too, because have people that are in it for a few minutes at a time, and, you know, in some of these things.
Okay.
But, so anyway, has nothing to do with JavaScript yet. But
Oh, well, so let's get into some JavaScript stuff. I've been playing with Sync Fusion a bit more just to see what I could do, and it's going pretty well. I like it. I think I'll get a community license as well. It feels like that's appropriate to do. Let's share my screen. Let's see, there we
Yeah.
go.
Community license costs nothing. It's just you might get lots of phone calls. That's all.
Oh,
That's
do
all
you
I
still
know.
get phone calls?
Once you explain to them, the size of your company and everything, they kind of accept that. I think they're just doing it partly to make sure that you're not trying to get a community license when you don't need one. Yeah.
So good. So it's going pretty well. I just had gotten this one up and running, this gauge thing. Looks like the value, I think this is the one that changes it, value 12. Let's see, yep, that's doing that. So that's pretty cool. Have you played with this one at all? Orlando?
No, not yet, but
No. I just picked a random one to see if I could get it to work, and it seems to be going pretty good. Interesting. Okay, needle tail. That's the tail. It's an interesting. It's interesting to be able to really. Let's see. Can I color it? I don't know if I can color. See if that works. Nope. So, this is pretty simple. Now, you had asked, or you had mentioned, Orlando, about, because these are TypeScript files, you felt like you didn't really understand what they are. I think really it's just, so TypeScript, as I understand, is a typing thing. You tell a variable, oh, you can't see. You tell a variable over here, what type it's supposed to be. So this variable right here, the type is a circular gauge. And if you remove that, which I've done, then you don't have that problem, right?
Yeah, that's what
you figured that out. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of blending the two different. I figured that out by blending the two different libraries they had and some of what we went through. So yeah. I think that's kind of the main difference, isn't it? Really, it's just that and a few other little things, but
yeah, I don't understand TypeScript fully. I'm hesitant to try to get into it. But let's see. Oh, there we go. That's what I'm looking for. Interesting. Starting. Okay, start angle is 0. How about this? Oh, interesting. Wow, I can really.
I can't see your web viewer now.
Oh yeah, I can't see my web viewer. I'm just changing the start and the end angles, and it's pretty cool that it can handle. It can handle whatever value I want to give it, like that. So anyway, so I got this working. It seems pretty. It seems pretty standard. I'd like to get, oh, this looks more interesting. Oh, that's probably most of that stuff. Okay, so this is interesting. Where are we? Oh, please, quiet. So here it is. Okay, so we're looking at, let's see here. I was looking at this range one here to see if I can put that in here. Doesn't, I see. Goodness. So let's see, how is it different than what I've got? Label style. Wonder if I could just pick all this stuff up and use it. And I just use this over here. Axes, yeah. Oops. Oh, wow, man, that was simple. That, the interesting thing is like, okay, so this is supposed to be like something that allows you to show an update. And obviously when you come to here, you want to load this value in. So I'm going to do that here. And then you get a nice animation. What happens if it just stops there? You get a nice animation, but I wonder if it's possible to update it on the fly. What did their example do? So their example is allowing, is updating it, but that's okay. Interesting. Oh, wow. Man, this is pretty, I can see why they're charging money for this, because it's got some good features. Interesting.
It is fast, the number of things you can do.
So why is this not going? Oh, there we go. Okay, do that. Okay, so anyway, so what I'm looking for now is, oh wow, you can set up or create Apple Watch rings. Roughly, that's interesting too. What I was looking for is the methods to this. Okay, so let's just get this into how I would normally do it. So I've imported it in, and then all of this actually, all of this stuff is going to go inside of my window dot load gauge. I never know how to spell gauge equals. I'm going to bring in some JSON in a bit and paste that in. Oops, didn't paste it actually in. Okay, so now it's coming in. The JSON, I'm going to parse, and I'm going to say const value equals object dot value. Or I'm just going to put in a number here as a default 50, and then put that down here. So this really becomes pretty dang boring. So now when I load this, I'm getting an error. Let's see. Oh, no, I'm not getting an error. I'm just not, FileMaker is not doing its thing. Where is my script workspace? Oh, there it is. Hold on 1 sec. Ugh. Yeah, that's true, Sam. I just don't like it. I don't like TypeScript at the moment. There's a lot of people who don't like it. 1 second. Okay, so let's see here. So let's get this working. Let's bring in the data. What did I call that? Load gauge. LOAD GAUGE. And Don, this is what we're going to be doing. God, sorry. Oh, sorry. Okay. Don, this is what we're going to be doing during our time together here in a couple of weeks. You need to get some more people involved, though. Got to find some people. All right, so actually, my load data script is going to have the value like 115. It's going to exit out. It's going to be put in there and there. So then back in my JavaScript, actually, it's not. It's data. All right, so let's see if this works. So load. Let's see what's going on. And const value, or no, console. Let's load it. Wait, what's going on? Oh, interesting. Did you see this, Orlando? It seems to have disabled the inspector.
No, I've never had that before.
Well, I have the demo. Could it be that that's causing the problem? That the demo is like they don't.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Let me try it again. Huh.
It's nothing to do with whatever tool you're using to magnify your click.
No,
Okay.
because I could go to, let's go to just another. Yeah. Huh.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I
No,
did not.
I have not seen that before.
Yeah. So I guess I do need to, I do need to get a, it's kind of hard to test. All right, so nothing is coming in at the moment as I do an alert. So let's see, data. Oh, it's because it's a string. JSON string. I need to clear that out of my development. There we go. Okay, so now 115 is coming in. I can get rid of the alerts. But what I was hoping is I create a field, which I actually already got a field. And my script, my data script is pulling from that field. Okay. So if I put in 34 and load it, I get it up to 34. That's good. But what I'm hoping for is a way to put in a new number and have a trigger run it so that then the little gauge thing changes without me having to refresh. I could do this, of course. I could put script trigger on object, exit, I guess, load the web viewer. So if I do 67, it loads it to 67, then 82. So it has to clear it out every time. What I want to do is, oh, interesting. I need to exit true. True. All right, that'll work. Okay, so now what I need to do is go into the documentation and see if there is a method for controlling this. Let's see here, how to API reference. Okay, so these are all the options. A lot of options. Here it is. Add event listener, no. Append to, export, print, set pointer value. Oh, okay, so here's what I want to do. Set range value. Sets the index. I kind of wish I gave an example. So here is the value. And if I look back at here, oh, okay, so that's it. So, okay. So what I could do is, let's see if I can do this. I can say, let's move this variable out of the function because we can't have it. We can't have it in the function because when I try to do something outside of the function with that, I'll get an error. So I'm going to say window dot update value equals bring in some JSON, and I'll do circular gauge dot set pointer value. Interesting. 0, 0, 0, 0 value. Okay, let's actually do this. Let's do const value, const object equals JSON.parse JSON, and then we'll do value. We'll just do that the same. And then the value goes in here. So I'm just accessing the circle gauges pointer value method right here to do something to it. And the way I'm doing that, yeah. So I declared the circular gauge variable up here. I assigned that to that variable the actual gauge. And then using this one, I'm updating the value. So I can go back to FileMaker, create a new script, update gauge value. And then what I always do is go here, copy that, copy the function, copy this, copy that. All right, so those are the only steps I need because the web viewer will have been loaded with the code. We don't want to refresh the web viewer. We don't want to reload the code. So I'm just going to grab these steps here. I'm going to target that HTML. I'm going to target the web viewer that's on the layout. I'm going to have a function called update value. So I'll just copy that, put that in here. And this, the next step will trigger it. I do need the JSON, so let's just do that. We'll do this. So in this case, the data is going to be that field again. Actually, I should change that to number. I'll do that. JSON number. This is cool, and it's it's just tapping into all the dang patterns that are in the work that we do. I'm writing a function that is written over here that's on the window that will accept some information. It'll accept a value, and then that value will be used in the circular gauges method to update itself. So let's give that a try. So instead of putting the script trigger, putting the script that, we can say, I want you to do this one. All right, so when we load it, it's going to be 82. When I get in here and change it to 12 and I exit, perfect. Very nice. That's so much better than refreshing it, isn't it?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I love that. Now, let me think here. This kind of goes into this. Let me think here. So there's a couple of things I could do with this to make it even more fun. Let me think about this. How would I do this? Okay, so I'm gonna create a script that's called just get random value. And I'm gonna pull up a man, do you guys ever have your Mac's search not work? I'm trying to do a search right now, a spotlight search. And it's failing on me. It's interesting. The reason I'm doing this is I'm going to pull a custom function out of something that I built a long time ago. There's a custom function that I found many years ago called random number that lets you do a minimum maximum. I got it from the 6 Fried Rice people, which I don't know if they're still around, but okay, so what I want to do is set variable random value is random number 0. What's the 120 was the max? All right, and then I'm going to exit script, random value, and I'm going to put that in here. Wait, where do I want to put it? Yeah, I think I want to put it in here. So then, wait, what do I want to do? I think this is what I want to do. So set or perform script. Get random value, exits or get script, set variable, data, get. I'm trying to build something that I'm trying to build a script that will be called by the JavaScript periodically and will just throw a random value at the charts. I'm not sure if this is the right way, but we're kind of doing what I'm interested in is JavaScript set interval. No. Yeah, this is what I want. Repeatedly calls a function with a fixed time delay between each call. Okay, so this is what I want. So I'm going to create a function over here in JavaScript called const get random value from FM. And we're going to do FileMaker.perform script. What was the name of it? Get random value. So we'll put that in there. I don't have any parameter pass. All right. So this get random value is going to call this. No, oh, sorry. I need to do this one, update gauge value. It's going to call this one. It's going to call this update gauge value. This update gauge value will go get a random number and then call this function over here. So this will be interesting. I think this is the right way. And then, so this function will do that. If I just put I could I can just put a button in here to do this. Let's try that. So let's put a button here. Button ID equals random get random, and then we'll go to the JavaScript and we'll say okay, so let's see if this works. So I load it and then I do that and I'm getting an error and I can't tell what it is because I'm in a demo. So what am I doing wrong here? Is FileMaker being called? Yeah, it is. Wait. Oh, that's why. All right, so let's load it. So it's going to load 36 by default, but then I do that. I love it. Okay. That's good stuff. That's awesome. Okay, so I'm not satisfied with that because now I want to do a set interval here. I think set interval, is it set interval? Set interval will, or is it set timeout? No, it's set interval. Set interval. So basic syntax. Set interval. Okay, this is what I want to do. Okay, so let's try this. Let's do, I guess, set interval. I need to put in, wait, set, what's it doing to me? So set interval is a function. It needs get random and 1,000. Okay. Does that work? All right, let's see if this works. Yeah. So that's every 1 second. And just to be clear, it's calling FileMaker every second and getting a value from FileMaker. That seems a little, silly when JavaScript could do it, but the point is to show that we can use the the API of the library and use this set interval inside of the JavaScript to handle just going and fetching data periodically. So if you're doing a chart or a data table or a Kanban board, you could go and refetch the data without, having the user do anything. And it's really just as simple as this set interval thing. I'm just going to watch this all day now. Isn't that cool? Isn't that cool? I should put this into my trainings.
Now you just need to add revving engine sounds to it.
It's hilarious. Orlando or Sam, are you doing anything like this where you fetch data periodically?
No, I am trying to work out the best method of updating as you're scrolling through records and between tabs, but not like this.
I know, but I will try to create a similar function to try to achieve a similar effect as yours. It seems I cannot hear you.
Yeah, you can't hear me. Sorry. This is a pretty simple method for just asking the web viewer periodically to go and get new data from FileMaker. There are more complex ways, I think. Given that this is JavaScript, this is probably the easiest and simplest way. But I know with React, it's a little bit more tricky. But yeah, I feel like this is a good lesson or a good example of what could be done. So
And the overhead on that wouldn't be much of anything though either, would it? As far as it grabbing data, I guess it would depend on the data set you're grabbing each time.
yeah, and you're right, you're right. And there is something to be tested for that. I've actually done this with the data tables, listing a bunch of records, and it hasn't been a problem. Obviously, I wouldn't do it every 5 seconds. You know, I might update it every minute or something. And this doesn't get in the way. You know, I can do other things in FileMaker. This doesn't, as long as that, you know, that's that doesn't get in the way of me doing something else, which is what I don't think. Let me see. Yeah, no, it's just going fine. So I could have another window open and be doing something and watch this dashboard go, and it's doing its thing. That's really cool. Unlike the other option would be to use the FileMaker one, the set timer script step, or a script script step, but it requires it to be put on a layout. And then it could get you know, there's still going to be some craziness. If I run a script over here, there may be some interesting changes, like which script is running. I guess it just, you know, FileMaker can handle that, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And you make it so that it actually would feed back to a layout too, just if you wanted to even have like a clock or something, I would take it, right?
You mean, let me get it. I'm gonna get a video of this.
Just have JavaScript running in the background, feeding back to a layout object that would just have a running clock. For the health system, basically, I had a dashboard running that it would time processes that were happening, and so I had an on script, you know, timer deal running, so that it would every I don't know, 15 seconds or whatever I had it set for, it would update the clock and then update all the objects that were on the thing, showing what their time was, how long it had taken for something to happen. Basically, they were paging doctors for responses back, and it was like timing how long it took for a doctor to respond back to a patient transfer request.
Yeah.
And so it updated the clock constantly on there.
Okay, yeah, this could probably do that. So yeah, so I'm
I was just thinking maybe that might be less overhead than doing the you know, the FileMaker version of it, which was a pain.
Orlando, were you going to say something?
I was just going to say that wouldn't be too much different to an on timer script, I would have thought, because it's just going to run a script every few seconds.
Yeah, but you're right. Yeah. You don't have to worry about uninstalling it, which is, I think you'd have to specifically do it. And if you open this window up, I mean, I forget it. I know it used to be on the certification test, but if you open this window up, if you spawn a new window, it
inherits
that's what I was, yeah. Does this work? I got two running. I love it. That's pretty cool. I mean, it's the same field, but I could easily update that. But cool, man, this is fun. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put this in the Yeah, I'll put this into the training, I think, because it's no, I'm gonna save this for the advanced. I can't teach everything at once, but I will. I'm gonna, okay, everybody be quiet because I want to show a video of this in the that's cool. All right, cool. All right, that's just fun. I didn't even know I was going to do this, and just kind of got going. But you know, it's interesting how almost I don't know what you think, Sam and Orlando, but it feels almost boring sometimes to put this stuff together because it's just so like, it's the same thing all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, am I crazy on that, or does it feel boring to you or exciting and fun to you every time?
No,
It's
but
fun for me.
It's fun for you.
yeah, I learned some new things. So yeah, I'll try that out.
Oh, it's good that. Oh, nice. I like that. Okay. Oh man, this is a lot of fun. What else? Let's see. Start angle. This isn't, I don't quite understand this. So this could be a full circle. I'm not sure where the start and the end is. I have to. Oh, I see that. It's kind of, oh, it's fine. Sort of. It looks like there's there's overlapping numbers. Pointer width, what else could I do? So, you know, here's an interesting thing. So, okay, let's take this one step further. Boom. Let's try this. Okay, so here's what I'll do. I'm going to change my random button. I'm going to change this to, so I'm going to actually put this into a const start interval. I'll do that. And then I'm going to put this function here. And then I'll update the button to say start. Of course, I would need to do an, I think I can, okay. So if I load it, it's going to go to 72 because that's the latest value. But then if I sit here, it's just not going to do anything. And as a user, I could say, all right, I want to actually start the interval. So I'm going to start it. See if this works. Okay, so that doesn't. Just do that. Oh, well, maybe I'm getting an error. Maybe I know why. Yeah, okay. I'm getting an error because this doesn't exist before I try to add it. There we go. Okay, so now it should start the process. There we go. Good. So now then I can, of course, let's just let's just take this to the start. How do I detect if a interval is on? Check. Oh, here we go. Variable to store our interval ID. Okay, so it does create an ID. So let's do that. Const or let's. I want to do let in inter ID. Just going to use that value. Although that's a really hard word. So change color. So okay, so then we do this. We'll say that equals that. Start, and I'll just do start, stop, or I'll do toggle interval. Put that down there. I'll say if not and do that. Else. I really like GitHub Copilot because it's kind of handling a lot of this stuff for me. All right. And then we'll say we're going to add one more. We'll say, let's see if there's not an interval, and then we'll say, actually, let's do this. Let's pull this up here, right there, and then we'll say random button. There we go. There we go. Okay. Else start interval. Okay. So let's try that. Load her up. It stops there. Boom. Stop interval. Good. Oh, shoot. I got to go to a meeting. And stop interval. Let's see if it stopped. Cool. Perfect. Awesome. That's so much fun. All right. Well, that is cool. Because you guys are here, I'll send you this repo once I get it pushed up there. You can take a look at it. But yeah, this is beautiful. Love it. So I think, you know, Sam, you asked that question last week about fetching data once in a while. This is how I'm doing it. And for JavaScript, this works. For React, I think there's a little bit different process, but
So could I conclude if that library have some refetching function, then you can use it directly. If not, then you can use set interval to reload to get your data from FileMaker.
yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Most like React Calendar probably has a fetching function, but you can also use a library called React Query. If you haven't studied that, you should look at that. It's something that I am using, but I don't fully understand. It does the fetching periodically, and it handles like the state as well. So you should look up that and see what's going on with that. I use React Query. Someone put it into a project that I'm working on. Actually, I'm building 3 websites. All of them are using React Query to go fetch data from FileMaker on a button press, or you could also do it conditionally, like periodically. So
Okay, thank
anyway,
you. I'll try that out. I'll look at it. Yeah.
this very nice. All right, cool. Well, I think that's it for today. This was a fun time, and I built something pretty awesome. So now it's just like styling it and making it look, adding some tailwind to it or something. So, all right, folks, have a good day. I'll see you Friday, or I'll see you next week.
Take care.
Sounds great.
See you all.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.